Welcome to Studio 58A live here at the Jamaica Information Service, our discussion program coming to you live online. I'm your host, Vaughn Davis. Thank you to everyone tuning in wherever you are around the world. Thank you so much for your eyes. We're so happy to have you. And like how we have your attention, do us a favor, man. Share this video with a friend or two or 30,000 so we can have a lively discussion. And don't remember to send in your questions and comments so we can have a really full-fledged discussion. All right? Now let's get into it. Now, people, if you're up on current affairs, you would have seen last month where today's guest made a trip to the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. And there he left a mark letting the world know that little Jamaica is represented among the countries whose nationals have taken on and conquered this extremely difficult journey. It definitely caught my attention, and it made me take a closer look at our guest. And when I did, I found out that he doesn't just have a real love and passion for the country. He has put his money where his mouth is and has helped facilitate major development initiatives for the country in the field of technology. We welcome into studio today Mr. Dushyant Savadia, CEO and founder of the Amber Group. Welcome. So glad to have you.
Good afternoon, Vaughn. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Wonderful. Now, based on your bio, it says from India to Jamaica. Now, before I even get to Mount Everest and all of that, I want to first understand how Jamaica landed on your radar, and how did you end up here? What was the familiarity? Is there anything particular reason that, Jamaica has a long-standing history of attracting persons from India to Jamaica, so there's nothing new there. But every story is different. Every story is, distinct in its own way. So what was your story, and how did you fall in love with Jamaica?
My story is actually pretty unique. People migrate to different countries mainly for economic reasons. They want to go make some more money. They want to set up their own businesses in foreign countries, etc., etc. But I didn't come for any of these purposes. I actually came to Jamaica as a humanitarian.
Okay.
I work for the Art of Living Foundation, which is one of the world's largest non-profit organization, biggest charitable organization in the world. And in 2012, I was asked by the founder of the Art of Living to come to the Caribbean, and I traveled Curacao, Aruba, St. Martin, Barbados, and I came to Jamaica in 2012. And I taught between 2012 to 2015 when I was going up and down and keeping my base in Jamaica, but I used to go around all the Caribbean countries to teach the Art of Living workshop, which is stress management workshops. So I taught nearly 3,000 inmates in the prisons in Jamaica, rehabilitated them for a year. I did a lot of work in the inner cities, in ghettos, in gangs, and teaching them breathing exercises, meditation, and choose a path of non-violence to get to the same end result what they're using violence to get to. Around January 2nd, 2015, I ran out of funding fully as my responsibility to run the foundation here. Whatever sources of income we had, that became smaller and smaller. And over time, my spend was a lot more for the country in terms of the charitable work we were doing. And that's when I decided, charity cannot happen from an empty bowl. You need cash, you need money, you need wealth.
From an empty cup at all.
Correct. And that's the reason I started the Amber Group in Jamaica in 2015, solely for one, that we build a business which is designed to serve humanity, which gives away all of its profits to serve humanity. And when I say serve humanity, it's Jamaica. And why I made Jamaica my home, I had a choice of other 6 countries where I was doing a lot of work in that sense. I think when I came to Jamaica in 2012, I was not in a very good place personally. I had just divorced, and I was not in a very good place in my soul.
Right.
And when I came to Jamaica, the opportunity I had here to work with all of these people and all of these members of the society, it actually uplifted me. The water, the land, the people. I think I just realized I don't think I've ever considered anywhere else home, but this is home for me since then. And I have devoted my life to Jamaica. I do everything I can do to help our Jamaican people with the wealth we create and the businesses we run. And I still continue to teach the Art of Living courses.
Okay, that's interesting. So fascinating to me. So you came with the intention of doing more humanitarian outreach work, that kind of thing. And naturally, as you said, it takes cash to care. So you had to start finding a way to. But then how were you able to? Because it's one thing to have an idea and say, okay, I think I can just start, put up a little shingle and then we're going to get some money and, we're going to use that to continue our outreach work. But it's different because Amber Group is really quite successful. It's doing very well and in many ways, and it has several lines. But so how were you able to leverage that I guess that your IT, now I would imagine that's what your background is, IT and so on. How were you able to successfully leverage that into a successful company like the Amber Group?
I think I've always believed in my soul that when your intention is pure and you want to do good for others, the universe finds a way to help you. Most of the time we start a business for self-serving purposes. And when you're starting a business for self-serving purposes, also your ability to grow that fast also is hindered because, whenever you give, we have the saying for centuries now, what you give comes around threefold. So from the start, our intention to start the Amber Group was to do good for the society, to serve the charitable purposes we all believe in. But it's been a hard road. I can tell you it's not been easy to start a business. And of course, as of today, we have 12 businesses in the group. We operate in 100 countries all over the world. We have thousands and thousands of employees and connected contractors all over the world. We're a massive business now, perhaps the largest exporter of technology out of Jamaica to the whole world. But it's not been easy at all. It's been tough, rough. I have had the worst of the worst problems that you can think of as an entrepreneur, but I never gave up. That's the secret. You just don't give up. No matter what, how many times you're criticized, how many times you're thrown under the bus, how many times you're humiliated, how many times you're chastised, it does not matter. What are you here for? If you're here to build a business, to make a difference to your society, you're here to build a business that you want to serve the society with better tech, with better options for them to utilize your services than what the competitors are doing, just keep going. That's what it takes to build businesses.
All right, that is true. I mean, you have to have, as we say in Jamaica, a broad back. You know what I mean? You have to just be willing to let everything come and take it on first. And just quickly show some love to persons online. Remember, this is your show, people. If you have any questions for Mr. Savadia, this is why we have him here. You want to be able to talk to him, rap with him, ask questions, and so on, and get answers to the questions. We're here to try and bridge that gap because often persons feel like a person like you would be far, so inaccessible, and whether you couldn't see them or talk to them and that kind of thing. And so we have the opportunity. Let's see if we can pick his brain. Is there something about tech, something about entrepreneurship, something about any of his ventures that he may be familiar with? If you want to talk about meditation and yoga, which is the real substance that brought him here in the first place, then drop a question in the comment. That's why we're here. We will ask it and we'll get back to you. All right? All right. Let me just, I guess, let's take the opportunity to just establish, because you mentioned Amber Group has so many different things. Can you just give us an idea of what it is that you guys do?
Yeah, sure. I started with Amber Connect, which is vehicle tracking and fleet management. And that is the product which actually made us so big all over the world, because we really, really looked at the whole industry. We looked at the gaps which the competitors had. And we built a very unique platform that gives real-time access to the customers, to their vehicles. We built a lot of AI now to prevent theft. So the vehicle actually defends itself when it is under threat of theft. So we pushed so much of AI, and that's what made us very global. So that was my first business. And when people back in 2016 saw the product and they loved the product, beautiful apps and so many functionalities that help you keep your car safe and your loved ones safe, we built the fleet management system. So all the big fleets started utilizing it, thinking, hey, now I can save fuel. Now I can save on maintenance. Now I can save on the resale value of the vehicles because the drivers are not abusing it. So when we built all of these phenomenal technologies, a lot of companies came to us, hey, you build great software for yourself. Can you build for us too? That gave birth to the second company. I never intended to have 12 businesses ever. It's almost like a snowball I couldn't stop. So the second business was Amber Innovations, which now have more than 1,000 software developers in-house between Jamaica, South Africa, and India, and Dubai.
You just said that so casually. In South Africa, India, and Dubai. Just so casually,
right? It's taken 8 years of grinding work to get here. But what happened is when we built Amber Innovations, I came up with an idea for fuel stations. So we built a petroleum software first. And then when we built that petroleum software, it's used by some very large fuel companies across the world. We needed a payments gateway. So that gave birth to Amber Pay. And now Amber Pay is one of the largest payment gateway in Jamaica. So if any businessman or any business, small business, large business, anyone who wants to have a payment platform to collect money from their customers online, we became the actual face of payment for Jamaica. And we're behind most of the big companies in Jamaica who are using our gateway to collect money seamlessly from their customers. Then we built the payment gateway. Then we realized, okay, all of these products also needs a rewards platform. Then we went into building Amber Rewards. Then, of course, cybersecurity has become a huge issue globally. So we bought a cybersecurity company in US a couple of years ago, and that allowed us to strengthen our ability to give support to our customers to help them to maintain their security standards of their business softwares. From there, we moved to IoT. We're manufacturing vehicle tracking devices. So I bought a company in South Africa also a year ago, which develops and manufacture hardware for us, and not just for vehicle tracking, but many other solutions. Then we went into aviation. I'm a pilot also.
Okay, all right.
So I wanted to kind of bring that wonderful spirit of flying into Jamaica. I went to South Africa once, to Ballito, which is in Western Cape, and near Johannesburg. In Durban. A place called Ballito. It attracts so many tourists to fly on an open cockpit microlight, which is just wings. Two seats, front and back, and there's an engine behind. So when you fly up 1,000 feet, 1,500, it's just fresh wind on your face, and it's just you're flying like a bird in the sky, and very safe aircrafts. Because these are gliders, even if the engine conks out, you simply glide and land, and that's it. It's safely landed. When the fatality rate is almost zero. Some very, very good experience I had, and I thought, we've got some very amazing beaches. We've got some amazing sightseeing view from the top of the skies. So we are now launching Amber Aviation in Jamaica. It is starting in Negril by June. We got all our Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority approvals. We're just waiting on the hangars now. Once we've bought 5 aircrafts already. So aviation became my next passion. I'm also in next phase wanting to launch a domestic airline. I want to there was take talk about people, that. We want to bring people to fly in the air. Of course, now if you want to go from Kingston to Mobay at 3 o'clock, you're done. I mean, by the time you cross the traffic out of Kingston itself, it'll take 2 hours. So how do I commute people within 32 minutes from Kingston to Mobay without paying a large bill? How can we bring, let's say, people flying at 8,000 Jamaican, 9,000 Jamaican in 32 minutes all the way into Mobay or Negril? So that's the third phase. And then, of course, we're into jet share as well. So people can rent jets and stuff. So that became another business. And then we went into many more. I mean, it's just one after another.
It seems like you're just collecting businesses like, I don't know, snacks or something like that. It just seems like that's your whole thing. You say, there's a business here. And before you know it, you start a new business and you create a new opportunity. Like that's safe to say that's why your mind works, right?
Correct. It's identifying the pain points in the society and filling them up, making affordable, making it technologically advanced, and bring that customer experience that people are missing with their existing service provider. And that's all we're looking for. What are the pain points of the society? And we go fill those plugs. Society gets something better for their own life cycles, and we also have converted into a business, and then we make the profits and go spend it on
reinvest it in something else
on charitable projects.
Speaking of which, which I have a question here online before I go into it. I do want to talk about the charitable energy that Amber has been, because I'd like to think, well, perhaps for those who may not know, Amber has partnered with the government through HEART and so on to create a coding academy to expose a lot of children across Jamaica, not just children really, but a lot of persons across Jamaica to coding, to bring them into the IT space, because which we all know, IT is the next frontier, in the sense that this is the skill set that's going to launch, take development into the stratosphere. And so being able to code, being able to leverage IT expertise is one of the best ways you can improve your life, change your destiny, etc., etc., etc. And so through the Amber Coding universe, but you know what? Why am I saying this? You're here. You talk about this.
So the Amber Heart Academy was my brainchild back in 2021, I think. I met the Prime Minister, Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and I explained to him that, look, if you look at the next 5-8 years, where are jobs going? Because of the rise of the chatbots, because of the rise of AI, our BPO sector might get impacted with that.
Right.
And it is happening all over the world. So how do we start training our people to the next generation of demand growth that is going to come? And IT, of course, is every single thing since the pandemic, everything is now converting itself into some sort of a digitalized system. Everybody's focused on building more software, building more solutions in their businesses to reach customers faster. So that gave birth to, and in fact, in my experience before, not really my experience, but what I'd heard before is that it takes a long time to do anything with the government. The bureaucracy is so tough. By the time you make an application and you convince them to do it, and by the time they actually move the logistics, years have gone. It didn't happen in this case. The PPPM on the first meeting itself, when I presented to him the whole option that we will fund it. We will fund the entire training. We've got the skill set to fund it. We've got the funding to fund it. All we need is heart to actually give us
students and a space out there.
Accommodation space for the students so I can bring them on campus. So in 3 months' time, this was launched from the day I spoke to the PPM for the first time.
Believe me, people, when I tell you that is amazing. That is an accomplishment in itself. Continue.
Correct. Absolutely. You're right. Because, like I said, we think government takes a long time. But I think it also boils down to what is it that you're bringing to the government as an entrepreneur that has a direct, fast effect on the society. And when there are good projects, I've seen in my experience, they work faster. So in 3-4 months' time, we just launched the whole Amber Heart Academy. And we first took in 50 students, then another 50. The first 2 batch were 5 pilots. From the 100 that we took, about 65 of them graduated. And then the next cohort was another 100, and now we are close to 500 students studying at the Amber Heart Academy. And of course, later on, we partnered with Universal Service Funds. They also opened up the rest of Jamaica for students to participate from other parishes too.
Right.
So now in total, we have about 500 students studying under the Amber Heart Academy. We are funding the course fee, etc., all the tutors, the curriculum, everything is managed by Heart and us and USF. But it's such an accomplishment. We just graduated 80 graduates only 2 weeks ago. 88 graduates graduated after the Amber Heart Academy. Graduation happened at Stony Hill. And I was listening. I couldn't go. I just came back to Jamaica and I was sick. I just couldn't make it to that event. And I regretted still not meeting those students at the graduation. But I heard the entire live stream. And I tell you the gratitude these kids had, because these kids didn't come from
tone or but good, great, situations.
Exactly. And so on, They had good situations and they are loaded with cash with their parents. No, these are guys who came from inner cities and all of that, and then they just found and qualified themselves to come to the Amber Heart Academy. And then they were subjected to screening. They were subjected to a psychometric test. We wanted to understand they can logically answer questions or not. And then we trained them for a year and turned them into proper software developers. And now they're all going to go out into the world and make a difference.
All right. I have to ask, because as an entrepreneur, you can appreciate that there are challenges that come. So I'm going to read you this comment. I'm going to let you respond to it. Okay. Good day, Mr. Savadia. This is from Jason Williams. Jason, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for your question. All right. Jason says, good day, Mr. Savadia. I'm happy that you adopted Jamaica as your home. What you did on Mount Everest was a testament to your love for Jamaica. Question: what can you tell us about claims of mistreatment by Amber interns while they were working for your company? I came across this petition, so I'm not I'll link that. So I would imagine there may not everything is sweet, but let you respond before I jump in.
I think, look, I don't want to comment more than I should, but I can tell you one thing, that we funded 1 year of training to these interns who were later interning with us. 1 year of training was funded by us. They got free accommodation, free food, free education for a year, turned them into developers, or rather prepared them to become developers. And a year later, we as a business, we're not very big. We're not 50 years old and 100 years old. We're still a startup. We're moving fast, and of course, the pace we are moving and growing. We don't have any external investors. The Amber Group is owned 100% by me. So whatever money we make is all we have to use for our growth and to fund our charitable passion too. So a year and a half ago, we brought in 60 interns at a time.
That's fantastic.
It's a lot. You go around and ask any company in Jamaica, how many interns have you hired in one shot?
I don't think it's a lot.
About 10, 15 maximum.
15 that kind
we
of thing.
took 60 interns who graduated out of Amber Heart Academy because I thought, we've never done internship programs before. Never. And I have never, there's no proper internship programs in Jamaica either. So I said, maybe let me try it if it works with us. And let me try to bring all these kids out of school straight into a job. And we paid them 100,000 Jamaican dollars net after taxes.
Wow, okay.
Interns don't make this kind of money in Jamaica. But we wanted to give them respect. We wanted to give them a starting point for their life. And of course, as you know, every internship is for a year or 6 months. And of course, as time passes, you have to be cognizant of the fact that the market is also changing. There is a lot of inflation.
Indeed.
A lot of companies all over the world have downsized their cost of operations because there is a foreseeable shortage of projects, foreseeable shortage of cash that we can see that it might affect. So companies go into cash reserve mode. So we gave them internship. We could, whatever we could do. I'm not saying we were the best internship location because we've never done internship before. But we brought them in, paid them a seriously good amount of money every single month. They were all paid for. And then, of course, when their internship contract came to an end, or at some point we decided, okay, this person is, we had some issues with some persons, we had to let them go because they were actually creating issues, which is fine. It's all part of the
That's natural. That's part of the business ecosystem.
But most of the interns, most of them completed their 1 year internship. And we did not renew their contract to make them into a full-time permanent job, and that has caused
some hard feelings.
And I apologize as a business. I wish I could have retained all of them. We did retain about 20 interns who were turned into full-time employment. Many were also hired by other companies who hired from us these interns to do work for them. Those companies also let go of the interns hired through us. Now, I can't bear it costed me nearly 90 million Jamaican dollars last year just to keep interns, to train them and give them a footing so that they can go out into the real world and find a job. So now if your internship is over, you go find a good job and move on and be, for me.
Stages, what I mean? These are stages. You graduate and now you move on to a different stage.
And look, if I've been 10 months out of the year, I've been abroad 10 months out of the year because I'm trying to grow the Amber Group business in 100 countries now. And if I sit in Jamaica, that won't happen. I need to move. I need to take Jamaica to the whole world. And to do that, it's taxing on me. It's not easy. I fall sick very often because I'm moving so fast. I took 150 flights last year.
Oh my God.
Just to grow our Jamaican business into the whole world. So the world can now recognize Jamaica is trading from Jamaica into the whole world. Because we're only known for people coming in. We're not exporting much.
Indeed.
We became the largest exporter of software globally now, out of the Caribbean, out of Jamaica. It's 100% Jamaican company. So, and I saw those comments too. I do sympathize with them. I have absolute sympathy for them. I've got apathy for them. But look, end of the day, let's get real. I run a business too. As much as we are a charitable business, I took 80 million Jamaican dollars cost on my shoulders to bring them into internship and give them at least 1 year of good experience. So their CVs get better. And then when the internship is over, you go out and find a job.
And that's life.
That's simple.
That's life. That is indeed the state. That's the game of life. And in truth, this is the nature of, I mean, when and that serves to make light of a person's personal experience, but this is indeed how things tend to go. It's nothing strange. It's nothing new. This is the world of life, our business at this level. This is just how it works.
Look,
things happen. There will be setbacks. There will be things, but how you move on and pivot and manage from these situations is what determines your success going forward.
And we know as a fact, Vaughn, also that even permanent jobs are not permanent.
Indeed.
You can't expect a guaranteed job for the next 40 years. It's not going to happen.
No.
Businesses move and pivot and reshuffle and change. How many big companies, big corporates in Jamaica in the last 6 months have slashed their costs and lost a lot of staff from their business? You can count the names.
Too many to count.
Too many
to count.
So if all these big companies are able to cut employees because they're trying to protect the overall business, nothing wrong in that. As the business has to continuously look the profitability, look at the cost, and keep adjusting staff, because salary is normally the largest cost of any business. So if the business is under pressure, the first thing you will do is reduce the number of staff you have.
Absolutely.
And I'm not the only company who've done that. There are so many companies in Jamaica now who have slashed how many people work for them. And again, it's just a proactive approach. And as soon as things become a little better, the visibility is there. Again, there's a big boost of hiring once again. But we didn't fire 60 or 30 full-time employees. Even if I did that as a business, that would be a business decision.
Indeed.
But we did not renew the contracts of interns. There's a very big difference. You're an intern. You must realize internship is not a guaranteed permanent job for the rest of your life, that you'll grow old with me when I'm 80, you're also 60. It doesn't work like that.
I know, and I thank you for your honesty and your candor in answering the question. Many person would give me the PR spiel about, Vaughn, blah, blah, blah. It's good that you, because I believe in transparency. I was the reason why I asked questions in the first place. It's very important.
I do want to end with saying I do apologize that I'm sorry my business could not carry this weight anymore of funding interns in the job. And the connected companies also who had hired interns through us, they also dropped all of them, most of them. And that also put pressure on me now. How do I carry the weight of all those who the third party companies had promised to take? So it's a mix of a lot of things. There is no what do you call it? There was no malintention behind.
Exactly, yeah. No ill intention.
It's just a business.
It's the nature of the business. It's the nature of business.
And you have to understand the 80 million Jamaican dollars we spent on interns last year, we didn't have to. I could have bought a little apartment for myself.
Or something.
I could have bought a new car. No, we're spending the money the right way, trying to help as many as we could help. And you need to see that our intention were right. Our deed was right. You were fully paid. 100,000 Jamaican dollars a month is not a small amount of money to pay 60 people every month for a year. And of course, while we are training them on the job, and I said to you before that we also lacked the skills to train the interns in the job as well as we could have. We also learned our lessons. We are also going to fix the mistakes the next time. But doing a petition and all of these things, I've read the petition too.
Yeah, I mean, these are, what persons have hurt feelings.
I can understand your frustration, guys. And you had a nice, cushy job for a year and good pay, and suddenly you don't have it. It does have a psychological impact. Indeed. Because of which the reactions like these come. But I do apologize. It's a business. I carried 2 years of cost for you as an individual. I'm sure you can forgive me for carrying 2 years of your costs and then put you out in a way that your CV is strong. You worked for Amber Group. You have achieved a 1-year certified course. I think we've done a lot that has to be recognized.
All right, let's pivot. I want to talk about Mount Everest and how that why? The question is why? Why you reach up? As any Jamaican, that's the first question. Why you reach up there, Mr. Savadia? What you doing up there? This is Jamaican people. We're good right here from the flag. Why you going up there so far?
Very good question. I think I think one thing I've been drinking Jamaican water for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think my blood is running Jamaican water now.
All
So
right.
one thing I've realized about Jamaica, we've got a lot of dare.
That is true.
We have a spirit of dare. Man, we can go do things that people think twice to do it. And I think I've been in Jamaica so long. This is my home and always will be. I even told my next of kins that should I die, please cremate me in Jamaica.
All
This
right.
is where I want to take off from, wherever I need to go next. So to me, why Mount Everest? I think it's not that people haven't climbed before. There are other Jamaicans who've also
that's
gone.
true, that's
and
true.
I know in 1991 somebody actually reached the peak, which is a phenomenal achievement. But all those stories are lost. So I think what my going
For
did.
this generation, this is your tribute,
Correct.
your testament.
Correct.
you know
So
what I mean?
for me, it was more like, can I become an inspiration? Can I become a hope that everything is possible from Jamaica? So when I went up Jamaica, it was not an easy ride. I was climbing for 8-9 days. I vomited one night. It was because there is less oxygen. The higher you go up, the oxygen saturation fell to almost about 80%, 60%. At one point, my oxygen was only 61% in my body. But in that lack of air, lack of breathing, and then you're tired, and then you have to climb 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers every day, and you're climbing 2,000 feet a day. It is harsh. And the worst, I chose the time, was peak winter. At some point, it was minus 40 degrees.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, that's not for me, but hey, kudos to you. You know
No,
what I mean?
I just wanted to do it as to send a message to our youths in Jamaica. We can do anything.
All right, that isn't true. And I mean, inscribing Jamaica, as you wrote Amber, Jamaica, and something else I don't remember. But I mean, and so that moment, talk me through that moment and having got there and just writing it in and just leaving that inscription for other persons to know that yes, Jamaicans are up here too. Nobody know better than we are just as good as everybody else to be able to accomplish something like this. What was that moment like?
No, I think for me, the first thing I wrote was Jamaica, because that is our first identity, that we are Jamaicans. And the second identity of mine is my business. And the third identity after my business is mine, my own identity as Dushyant Savadia. So when I was writing, the first thing came to my mind was to write Jamaica. One, because see, when I looked at the rock, there were so many countries' names written there, so many flags there. And I said, I can't see a single Jamaican sentence or a single word of Jamaica anywhere on the rock, anywhere. And there's a whole place which is dedicated for you to write your success moment, inscribe what you... And we don't carve the stones, by the way. We do not vandalize the stones.
Yes, because I'm sure there are persons who are like environmental concerns, etc.
Yes, and I saw one comment on Facebook that I also had gone to the Mount Everest, but I did not vandalize. My friend, we don't vandalize. We're all nature-loving people. I was smart enough to carry a permanent marker.
Okay.
And that's what you do. You have to think through. And I think in Jamaica, sometimes no matter what good you do and however positive a story you put out, there are people who have a different opinion.
That's just the world. That's life.
Yeah,
That's
and they just don't spare anybody to badmouth as much as they can. But it's their level of understanding of the situation, and we have to also embrace them, because if they could be better, they would have been better. So
it is what it is. This comes with the territory.
Yeah. So to me, it was all about writing Jamaica's name and letting the world know from there that Jamaica can be anywhere. I've taken Jamaica to 100 countries in my business. I've taken Jamaica to 18,500 feet and a lot more to come. I finished my deep sea diving course recently. I also got a PADI license now. And I'm now thinking, how deep can I take Jamaica to? We've gone up. Let's
all right. It sounds
go
like
down.
you seem like you're National Geographic or one of those. Like that should be your next venture, right? Before you know it, I'm adventuring something like that. Which brings me to the next question. It says, Natalia Francis is asking, are there any new initiatives Amber Group is launching in 2024? Because based on your rate at which you create and launch new businesses, what's on the horizon for Amber?
Okay. So I'm going to give you a sneak preview of something that is coming and launching on March 6th. Those who are hearing this, listening, watching, pretend that you didn't hear and you didn't listen. This is a secret, top secret.
Only just, all of the internet, but
That's
never mind,
it.
that's fine. Our close friends
No,
on
we're
the
launching
internet.
a new initiative. I won't give much away right now, called Amber Launchpad. We aim to fund 100 startups in 1,000 days. So we will open the invite. Just keep your ears on. It is coming very shortly. As an entrepreneur, Vaughn, I've gone through a lot of problems.
Yeah.
To find money to build my product. After I found the money to build my product, I ran out of money halfway building the product, begging again and begging again and begging. I've got a brilliant idea, but how can I take my brilliant idea to the market? How can I monetize my brilliant idea to the market, which will benefit the society and make my life better? And then when I started Amber Group's journey back in 2015, I ran out of funding. Many times. At one point, I remember I had 11 staff, engineering staff only. I couldn't pay them the money because the product wasn't complete. I couldn't go sell. And I had to request my staff, okay, guys, you go find another jobs. And when time comes, I will bring you back and I need to find some more funds. Fortunately for me, none of the 11 left said, Dushyant, we know where your heart is. I know you want to do good for the society. We're not going, we will finish the job. And they completed the product without taking any salary for a month and a half. But then I realized as an entrepreneur now, when I look back into my own life, you continuously beg for money. Then if you get an investor, then you start getting investor pressure even before the product is built.
That's true. They
need fast returns. They put too much governance on you sometimes that can stifle the business because everybody is their own mind. They have their own experience with their own experience. And perhaps many of these investors have lost a lot of money with a certain trend these entrepreneurs take. So they try to put enough controls in this. And then what happens? By the time you've actually built a product, 60-70% of your equity is already sold. And then you lose interest. Okay, then finally, let's say you got all the money and built the product. Then what? Who's going to market it? Exactly. Nobody trusts you.
You're brand new. Man, nobody's heard of it
When
before.
I started Amber Connect, I used to stand on the road and give pamphlets for people to take it that I've built a vehicle tracking system. It is by far the best in the world. Please have a look. I used to hand deliver boxes myself to technicians to install. I used to install myself at some point. But this whole journey have made me realize one thing. How about we create a new startup capital fund for Jamaica, which is not coming from the capitalist side of things, but coming from a philanthropic side of things. We built, I think, Jamaica's first philanthropic capital venture initiative, whereby we are saying that you will never have to look for funds to build your product. We will do end-to-end 100% funding. Once we will open the application in first week of March. You apply, you give your idea, you load a short video, and you will be selected out of how many ever we get. We're going to take the first batch. Season 1 is 10 startups first, and then every 3-4 months we'll take 10 more. But in 3 years, I want to launch 100 startups in Jamaica, digital startups.
That's amazing.
Fully funded, by the way, from the group.
That's amazing. And I mean, hey, if your business plan is on the shelf somewhere, I think now it's a good time to take it off, dust it off, make it up, and just tweak it up and all the things. So make sure when the time comes, and you know what they say, success is what happens when opportunity meets preparation. Opportunities are about to drop.
I just want to say something. In Jamaica, we call it side hustle. How about giving this side hustle a mainstream recognition?
Yeah, absolutely. As we were talking, Mr. Savadia was talking to me about the power of tech, how he feels it has the power to impact person's lives positively. And you just give us an idea why it occupies such a special place in your heart.
I think for me, it's been an organic journey. I've not made any special effort to be in this space. I think I have a knack of looking at problems in a business. I've got a knack of finding solutions to those problems, and I just built an ecosystem to actually build those solutions for the problem. That is how I got defined as a tech startup and a tech industry champion, sort of.
All right, so it just kind of came naturally. It's one of those things. It became the tool, and then from there it just kind of built itself around, and then you just kind of occupied it. Just one of those most useful tools for you. All right. Now we had talked about it. Insofar as your plan to launch a program to help entrepreneurs going on in a month or two. But if there were any set of rules or any set of things that you could guiding principles that have governed your entrepreneurship journey, what are some of them that you could share just briefly with entrepreneurs who might be watching and learning now?
I think there are a few rules I think I abide by 100% as a person, and this is 100% fact. One is you have to work very hard.
Mm-hmm.
If you clock yourself 8:30 a.m. start, 5 p.m. stop, you will not get there.
Mm-hmm.
There have been days I work 19 hours a day. Yesterday it was funny. One of my staff posted a picture during COVID. We were helping many countries around the world with COVID tracking quarantine devices. And we were up all night helping those countries. And I was a part of that team. I didn't say, okay, I've got employees, you guys are going to do it, I'm going to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
One is hard work. Just work very hard. You should have a discipline to work at least 12 hours a day. I tell you, if
12?
you start 12, I have a discipline to work at least 12 hours a day, because then you're getting a lot more done in a shorter space of time. You progress a lot more faster. I'm young still. I'm not 90 years old, 80 years old that, I have limitations of walking. At this young age, with this fire in me, if I don't use it fully to get out there and triple my achievements, then I'm also wasting all this fire inside me too. And then when you give 12 hours a day, you're actually pushing hard and you're getting things done. And of course, there is family and stuff. You balance that. 12 hours is enough for that. Second, integrity. I've never ever done anything which is not construed as, you always have to work with integrity. You always do what is right. Sometimes it's not something I like, but it's something that is right. I still will do it. So have integrity in whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you do. Yes, no matter how good your intentions are, sometimes it takes a different spin. That has happened to me a few times. We try to help and that turned on our face, but you don't give up. You keep helping. And third is also, don't just think about yourself all the time. This approach, what about me? What do I get in this? This is also a hindrance to your own growth. Think about, what can I do for the business? What can I do for the society? The broader your mind becomes, the broader your vision becomes, you'll grow organically that fast. So 3 things again: hard work, integrity, and big vision. Think big.
Vision. I know that sometimes persons who are in the entrepreneurship space, people say that when you take these big swings and you swing for the home run instead of the single, sometimes it's like you become a victim of your own aspiration, so to speak, because you had such a big vision, and then when you try to accomplish that, it's almost like because you aim too far too fast. And so there's this balancing act between what's, I guess, achievable and what's your big broad vision. How do you balance that? You know what I mean?
We failed in one business. I'll tell you that story now. I started Amber Aura a few years ago, which was a home automation system. We built the platform, we built some hardware, but by the time we realized it was very difficult to launch it, very difficult to sell it, very difficult to service all those instruments, and I cut it off. See, your aspiration and big vision also have to be pragmatic and realistic. You need to also learn in life when to pivot, when to say, nope, this is not going to work. It's like if you give a 4 or 5-year-old child to push a chair, okay? They'll push and push, they'll put their 100%. If they can't move the chair, they'll drop the chair, go after something else to push. You don't then stand there and sit there and regret, oh my God, I failed. No, you move on. Life has, like there is a saying, if one door closes, 3 windows open. Just jump out of the window and keep doing what you have to do. Do not give up. If one aspiration fails, so what? Wake up. Life is endless opportunities, my friends. endless. There is no limit of what you can do in life. So why are you limiting yourself? If something failed, if you had a heartbreak, did you give up for the rest of your life? You moved on and you found somebody else who loved you and cared for you, and it may not even work out again. But a human tendency is to always go into this cocoon, I failed, and feel sorry and pity yourself. No, wake up, shake it up, move on.
All right. Now, I understand one of the things that you have accomplished recently is that you were named among Forbes Technology Council. So talk to me about what that means and what impact that can have on Jamaica and how you can use that to, I guess, spread the message of entrepreneurship and growing Amber and so on. What kind of impact will that have? Do you foresee?
Coming on the Forbes Technology Council, of course, being on Forbes, it's a nice recognition sort of to add to your CV, to your signature. It's marketing and branding.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the Forbes Technology Council actually provides a platform to connect with big entrepreneurs all over the world. You create new connects, you create new ideas, you have discussion forums of all the Forbes Tech Council members who exchange phenomenal ideas that we look at. Okay, I can't think everything by myself. It's impossible. So all of these platforms and forums actually give us so many ideas, new ideas that we can look at. Okay, can we implement this in Jamaica? Can we implement this in UAE? Can we implement this in South Africa? Where is it applicable? So it just enhances our ability to learn a lot of new things for me personally.
All right. And you married that, I guess, with being ambassador and special investment envoy for technology for the government. Now, how did that come about, and what has that experience been like?
It's been a phenomenal experience so far. I was informed. I got a call one day that PM would like PPM would like to appoint you as investment ambassador for Jamaica. I asked what the role entails and if I have a very busy life with Art of Living and with my group, and I don't know if I can do it or not. But when I understood what it required me to do, I was very pleased because it's within my forte, it's within what I do. So I took the position. It's a voluntary position, by the way. It is not a paid job. For those who know, it's an honorary position. You just give time to your country by taking ambassador position and go out there and bring new technologies, bring new investors, bring new investments into the country. So we are speaking to quite a few large tech companies in the world to either assist us with platforms that we don't have, or assist us building infrastructures that we don't have, or even bring their companies here and have a small or big operations of theirs out of Jamaica too, because we are one of the most lucrative nearshore country to Latin America, Canada.
It's good to hear it from somebody like you, because when people say these things, I always think there's some agenda or something like that. What makes you say that, though?
Say what?
That Jamaica is one of the most lucrative nearshoring markets, I guess, if you will, in the world based on where we are and that kind of thing. Because I think it's good to spread the gospel so that more persons can understand what we have here and what the power, I guess, that we occupy as Jamaicans and what Jamaica has the potential to do. I want you to say.
See, I think to me, Jamaica is vibrant as a country. There's vibes. You can feel it. Our music, our culture, our food. It's a land of joy. It's a land of opportunities. It's got this dynamic way to reshuffle itself based on what the requirements are. What can we not be is the question. We've got the most beautiful beaches in the world. We've got one of the best infrastructure now when it comes to hotels, when it comes to Airbnbs, when it comes to accommodation. It's just incredible how Jamaica has progressed in the last 5-6 years in front of my own eyes. And I'm completely coming with a brand new eye set. I don't have a history of 50 years in Jamaica, 30. Whatever I've seen in the last 8-9 years is what I've seen, how Jamaica has developed so fast, economically fast. The infrastructures are better. Roads are better. I never had a highway when I first came in 2012. The highway was launched in 2014, 2015 at some point. There's so much of infrastructure, roads, capacity building. So and also, I mean, as you know, Jamaica is actually the fastest now in the world to reduce its debt. That means there is more money in the coffer of the Jamaican government. That means there is more public spending available that improves lives of people downstream. But the effect to the people downstream will take some more time for it to be felt. You know, when there is an earthquake, the center has the biggest effect, and then it slowly comes the effect, and then you feel a slight shakedown, but it takes some time for that effect to reach. Economical growth, when a government is functioning very well, when it's doing the job and it is reducing the debt, increasing our overall stability of economy, the farmers, the drivers of taxis, they will feel the effect. It needs a little more time, but the effect will come because there is more money available in Jamaica to spend for Jamaica than what we had before, without incurring much debt, while keeping our USD to Jamaican dollars pretty stable for so many years. It takes a lot. So I think overall the opportunities we sit with is a lot. When I say we are near shore, very lucrative, because we are a stone throw away from US, stone throw away from Canada, stone throw away from Latin America. Our resources are very bright. We have some brightest minds in Jamaica who needs better training, more training, to fit into the new world ecosystem of jobs. There is a lot of changes that are happening. I think everybody is making their effort. I saw Sandals build their hospitality university of their own. That's exactly what Jamaica needs. I want to applaud Adam Stewart to think of it and do that. We built the Amber Heart Academy. We need developers over time. Yes, the market is a little tight right now, but in a year's time, 6 months' time, as the market picks back, we get more projects. We will need more developers. So what Adam Stewart has done with Sandals, what we are doing with Amber Heart Academy, so a lot of good people trying to do good for Jamaica. What we need to do as Jamaicans, come together, be one voice, one spirit, and take more responsibilities as citizens to reduce our own crime and reduce our own... Look, I mean, the crime situation is worrying.
It is what it is.
And we've been speaking about it for a long time. But you see, we always look at the government, we look at NGOs, we look at everybody to do something. But you know where peace starts from? From ourselves.
So the last question I will wrap with is, you are bucking the trend, or bucking the perception among maybe a few persons that a global conglomerate like yours, Amber, could not be headquartered in Jamaica. And you're bucking that trend because, as you mentioned, you have so many lines of business and you operate in over 100 countries, as you mentioned. How are you able to do this? Or what would you say to persons who would question why Jamaica is your HQ and why you've been able to set up shop here and work here and be successful as you are here?
You know, when I open my windows, I see the sea in Kingston. So I've got I live on a tall apartment, so I can see the views. See, I think why Jamaica is because it's not for anything else. I am Jamaican. I have taken a Jamaican citizenship. I've taken the oath. And I take my oath personally. And I, like said before, I've got this passion for Jamaica. And mostly you think, yes, it is. I'm not saying it's easy to run a global conglomerate from here. I'm also going to say there are a lot of things that needs to be fixed from the business environment, which I'm also working with many other entrepreneurs in Jamaica with the government to say, Mr. Government, these are issues. We need a better free zone here, that more companies can come from outside, set up shop, and not when we are 95% export. You know, our business in Jamaica is only 5% or less than 3% of our global revenue. 97% of Amber Group's business comes from overseas, not from Jamaica. Now, if I'm a 97% export company, I also need better export infrastructure. I need better taxations for exporting because I'm not spending my money I'm not using Jamaican money to make money for myself. I'm bringing in US dollars from outside. So, and I think there is a lot of push that you've seen lately with Minister Aubin-Hill to improve the quality of the free zone. They are liberalizing some of the laws that they had from ancient ages. There's a lot of push that is happening, but I think we're still far away. We really need to improve. Global conglomerates like me would leave if they don't find the suitable environment. I'm Jamaican, so I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere till I die. But a lot of companies to come in with investment, we still need a few things that needs to be fixed. I'm sure they're working on it, but they need to expedite that working because it's hard. See, one thing I'm praying to Minister Bartlett, if he can speak to Emirates Airline and get a direct flight from Dubai to Jamaica.
Okay.
That will change our global business automatically.
Okay.
Can you imagine for now, if I have to go to my UAE office, I have to go to Miami, I have to go to New York, I have to spend there 4 or 5 hours before the next plane. Last time I was trying to get to Dubai 2 months ago, American Airlines was late by 6 hours. I missed that flight and I missed a very crucial meeting. So we also, and I'm sure the government is also working on increased connectivity to Jamaica from all over the world. You will see so many new airlines have started to come to Mobay. So many new airlines are coming from all sides. But we need to connect with Middle East because Middle East is becoming the hub to the whole world now. And connecting to the Middle East will also connect those investors from Middle East to come in. It will open India, which is a 1.4 billion population, which has money to spend now. The fastest growing economy in the world, became the 4th largest, I think, now. And imagine all the traffic of tourists coming in because the Dubai channel is open, because a lot of Indians can't get US visa, for example. But if we open that route between Dubai and Jamaica, I think the tourism will take a 10 times faster pace, and it will also open up a lot more investors, a lot more easy to commute for businessmen like me. I think we're on the right track, but lots needs done.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it there. This was such a fantastic interview. I learned a whole lot. I hope a lot of you did as well. There are so many nuggets there, so many snippets of wisdom from an entrepreneur who's doing it in this modern age, bucking the trend of so many of the perception and the cynical persons who believe that Jamaica, in order to be really successful, it's not easy or it's too difficult to actually accomplish. Here's an example. There are many persons, and he's a person who came to Jamaica in 2012. And decided to make it his home, decided to set up shop and just go 10,000% and just make something of himself, and then set as a social entrepreneur to make sure that everything that he does impacts the country positively. It can be done. It is being done. Here is your example. If persons want to link up with you or just rap with you, talk to you, get an opportunity to just kind of bounce ideas and so, how do they do so? Where can they find you?
Just find me on Instagram, d.savadia, Savadia. That's my official handle. And mostly I try to respond as much as I can.
All right. All right, so there, D.Savadia, Dushyant Savadia, the CEO and founder of the Amber Group, somebody who has a lot to say, and we're going to be watching and see with all these ideas that you have coming. It should be very interesting days ahead for Jamaica. All right, with that said, I think it's time for us to wrap. Thank you to everyone who tuned into our discussion, especially those of you sending the comments. Really appreciate those. And if you have a question and we haven't answered it here, not to worry. Drop it in the comments. We'll try our best to get answers to you. If not, we'll have to reach out to Mr. Savadia and make sure you get the right answers. All right? Remember, our audience plays a major part in our show. If there's anyone in particular you'd like us to have in studio, let us know. We'll try to have that person in studio as soon as possible. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're there. Jamaica Information Service. Just look for us. You'll find us. All right? In the meantime, you can also check out Mrs. Savadia, check out Amber Group, find out all that they're going out with, and see if you can learn something new. All right, should be a good experience for you. Well, we do this live every week online on our different social media platforms. I have been your host, Vaughn Davis, and this has been Studio 58A Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Please have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.
Thank you.